It's the Full Force News Burst, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury editions. I am your host, Christopher McLeod, aka Diagnostic 80. Now let's get into the news. Hello and welcome to the show on this NYCC weekend starting Thursday. Really? Hello everyone in the chat. Already lots of you. Quick mic check 1 2. Can you hear me? I hope so. Had issues at the start again with the tech, so hopefully you can. If not, then we'll just have a silent issue this one. Yeah. Indeed, it was quite the day, crusty old crow. We've got lots to get into today. Lots to get into. So obviously NYCC has kicked off. Walmart Collecticon and the Ghost Viper went up for pre-order, or order, I should say, because they're pretty much going to be shipping soon, right? On Walmart and, of course, Pulse in very limited quantities. And, of course, Pythona went up. Now, last night I posted a little post on the old socials to say that we had heard that Pythona was going up at 1 p.m. Eastern. And lo and behold, that was the case, thanks to BMAC as well for kind of confirming that on his socials after the fact. So it was good to see that, they were getting a little bit of a heads up beforehand, because I think it would have been a bit rough, wouldn't it, if we had no idea that was happening. Now, we did know it was happening because Hasbro had put a post out the day previous, a couple of days previous, right? But they hadn't really specified what time it was going to be happening. So I guess, thankfully, we had that little bit of information and we could disperse it in good time, I would say. But yeah, I think everyone got on really well with Pythona, so that was fun. The fact that, what was it? It went up for Pulse Premium only like a minute after 1 o'clock. It might have been well on 1 p.m. EST. I was like refreshing like crazy. Get this though, this was the luckiest thing ever, because at 1 o'clock I was typing in the search Pythona, but I spelt Pythona incorrectly. I was typing quickly, so I was like PYHT. It's like pit. And I hadn't finished writing it when she popped up on screen for the search. So I'm like, sweet. So I dived straight into it, right? Straight into it, ordered it, brilliant. And then obviously you're in like order page at that point, right? And of course I wanted to share and say, hey, it's on Pulse, let's go, let's do it. And I get on to type in her name again to search for it, because she hadn't shown up on the new and exclusive board yet. And everyone I was looking for, I couldn't find it. So I go to type in the search Pythona, but I spell it correctly this time. Nothing comes up. And then I realized when I looked, because I remember seeing the search bar being incorrectly spelled, and she still came up. And I was surprised at the time that she popped up, even though I'd spelt it incorrectly. And so I started to spell it the same way incorrectly, and she pops up again. And I'm like, their Pythona search algorithm or whatever is searching for the incorrect spelling of her name, which I thought was, how jammy is that? How fortunate was that, though? And yeah, she'd have shown up and she'd have been there eventually, but to find her that way, I thought was really lucky. Anyway, I then posted the link, and I think it was fairly early. It was only like a minute or two into the actual process. So yay. And lo and behold, she pretty much stayed up for premium members. I think I haven't actually checked recently, but obviously the last time I checked, it was well past the usual hour. Yeah, she's just checked and she is in stock. Incredible. So it's good for Pulse Premium, but not only that, it's good for, now the other thing we should say here is Pythona will be available for non-premium members, but after the full con scene. So after LucaCon, I think it's the 3rd of November. That's what it says in the blurb, I think. So non-premium will be available after all of the conventions. So that would be, November the 3rd, non-premium pre-order kind of situation. But premium members did get that opportunity today and still have the opportunity to purchase her now, which is crazy pants, isn't it? So that's a good kind of turn of events. Obviously, they're selling them at the show as well. I know a few people that picked them up at the show. Brilliant stuff. So it sounds like they're well stocked in Pythonas, which is great. Yeah, so there you go. That is the Pythona situation, and we'll obviously look at her promo images a bit later on as well. In actual fact, let's get on to the tiny face me and the big screen on the right, shall we? You know what I'm talking about. So there you go. Let's start with, now we've got a few things to obviously talk about. We've got booth images from NYCC. We've got Pythona promo images, which I've been looking at, like trying to delve into, trying to find anything. Can't find a darn thing. There's one thing that looks a little bit like a snake armor in the background. But we'll get to that in a little bit. And of course, the Collecticon, the Walmart Collecticon Ghost Viper we'll talk about as well. Now, let's start with Ghost Viper and Dire Beasts. Now, this is the file card that popped up. Shout out to Mark, who does all the copy, and I believe did this one as well for all the stories and the narrative and the file cards and all that kind of good stuff. So shout out to Mark, who was at NYCC this weekend, I believe. And unfortunately, I was going to meet up with him for the first time, but obviously couldn't do it because I'm not there. Now, this is a Walmart exclusive. It goes up on Pulse in limited quantities, as it every single time this has ever happened. That's what happens. This was up on Pulse, I want to say, for 12 minutes, which isn't bad considering some of the amounts of time we've dealt with these kind of things. He was up on Walmart early, so yeah, got in there. And then on Pulse, it was a little bit after the hour, but he did show up. And like I said, he was there for a decent chunk of time, like 12 or 15 minutes. And usually we don't even get that. Usually it's like a couple of minutes and it's done. So that was good. What I will say though is obviously with Pulse, it's a little more expensive now, isn't it? Like, I mean, we are definitely seeing all those charges now applied to classified, which is a shame. But it started, I want to say, with, was it Steeler and Short Fuse? Was that the first 2-pack that it started with, the price increase on Pulse? Was the one before that? I can't remember which. I can't remember. There was one specific release. I think it might have been Short Fuse and Steeler that sort of kicked off the classified price increase, unfortunately. But yeah, and I mean I went with Walmart just because, I'm crazy like that. But you know how it is, like you're putting your own life in, you're putting your life in your own hands with Walmart. But they're showing up in store and they have been for ages. So I don't honestly think Ghost Viper is going to be that difficult to get hold of if you want one. A lot easier than the card back variant Rich Pellegrino artwork Flint, which I didn't get, by the way, out of my 2 Flints. I just got 2 of the other card art. Shame in it. I did see that some poor bugger had got it and then dropped their Flint and it cracked the bubble. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I can't remember who it was now, and my apologies for forgetting who it was. Hang on. I might be able to give a shout out because I think I took a picture of it. No, I didn't. Damn it. In any case, that sucks. But yeah, especially when it's like, you're one of 82 people to get that. And they're all there's a couple up on eBay already, I think, doing like stupid numbers. So it's a shame really, because I knew what would happen though. I knew what would happen if I'd received one, even if it had been completely random and lucky. All it would have been was, oh, look who got the Rich Pellegrino variant. Someone knows someone. That's what would have happened. So at least we avoided that. At least I avoided the comments on that one, because that's what it would have been. It would have just been like an attack on me for knowing people. Attack on me for building a G.I. Joe related news podcast over years and years, developing relationships all over the place, and but being just generally really lucky, right? Yeah, fair enough. For putting like 10 to 12 years into this. and longer when you think about it. I just hadn't done the podcast before then. In fact, I don't know what our birthday is now. It was in July, I want to say. I've got to find the first ever episode again and find out when I posted it. Years ago. In any case, I'm really sad. I didn't get a Rich Pellegrino Flint card back, and who knows what I'll do on the secondary market at some point in the future, but we'll have to see, won't we? Yes, Couchboy. I think I've seen to date, I've seen 4 posts where people have got the Rich Pellegrino artwork. One where the unfortunate bugger dropped it and broke the bottom of the bubble, like cracked it, so there's like a flap hanging down, and then 3 other people that have posted to say, "Oh, look what I've got," sort of thing. So yeah, it's yeah. Simon says, "How very dare you, Chris? Go outside and give yourself a damn good talking to." I shall. Andrew Law says, "Disclaimer: would you tell?" If I got the Rich Pellegrino card, I would be like all over the place, going, "Oh my God!" I'd be like really happy and throwing it around. Blitz says most of us didn't. Yeah, correct. I'm just part of the crew at this point. I'm not going to complain though, because I did get to have Pythona early. It's not like I had to kill anyone for it, or did I? But incriminating myself on podcasts. But no, it's like I was really happy to get that one. That's phenomenal. Anyway, Ghost Viper and Dire Beasts file card. This is very cool, by the way. And I want to read this one out to everybody. So primary specialty, infantry, shock troopers, shock in, quotation marks. Secondary specialty, psyops. Interesting. I wonder if they're ever so slightly hinting at psych out in the future. Nod, nod, wink, wink. I wonder if they're hinting at psych out in the future. Nod, nod, wink, wink. Yeah. Am I saying too much? Various countries' birthplace, of course, because they're all different. Ghost Vipers employ the latest advances in dire, that's dread-inducing responsive energy tech, based on the research of Cobra paranormal expert Crystal Ball. Their specialized containment packs store harnessed extra-dimensional energies of an unknown origin, which are then channeled through the Ghost Viper's suit or projector. The spectral ectoplasm emitted can manifest as bursts of gas or with proper attunement and user concentration as physical forms such as claws or masks, all of which induce a preternatural fear in those nearby. Truly adept Ghost Vipers manifest dire beasts, full-sized corporeal creatures, dire wolves and dire snakes that attack on command. Most Ghost Vipers are a little off due to long-term exposure to the vented energy. They also need to take care not to completely empty their packs, as the projections tend to suck the life force out of their own bodies, Kitty said, occasionally leaving them desiccated husks. The Kitty said isn't in there. I added that bit. But I mean, whenever you write in there, suck the life force out of, I'm going to say Kitty said. It's just going to happen, isn't it? Yes, Road K21, they are Scooby-Doo villains. I love the fact that this is like so Ghostbusters crossover-tastic, isn't it? Like they're using ectoplasm. They're using like all sorts of like Ghostbuster style things. This to me is a G.I. Joe Ghostbuster crossover. And I feel like I wonder if we're actually gonna get some sort of G.I. Joe Ghostbuster crossover. And I don't mean as in the O-ring Ghostbusters, which already happened. So kind of they're crossing the streams a little bit, aren't they? Yeah. All right, no. Anyway, Ghost Viper and Dire Beasts, infantry shock troopers, psyops. I wonder if psych outs come in. Nod, nod, wink, wink. I'll stop doing that. But all right, I'll give you this. Maybe psych outs come in. We'll have to see, won't we? Maybe who knows? Maybe not this particular round of reveals, but maybe he's coming in the future. Just going to throw that one out there. Speaking of, for the chat, when is that Ecto 1 set due to ship anyway? Feels like it's been a while. Not a clue, actually, Steps Toys. 46 Zone says Slimer Viper. Yeah, indeed. Anyway, that's Ghost Viper. That's Dire Beasts. Shall we move on to the next port of call? And that is booth images. So shout out, first of all, to His Tank and Toy Arc for these beautiful booth images, which you're going to be checking out. Now, there's not like a lot of new going on here at the moment. Obviously, we've seen all of this stuff, where we might even have most of it. I know I do. My goodness, the Ore Striker came today, and it's huge. It's bigger than it's massive. So it can't wait to actually do that as a awkward unboxing on a vertical video. That I might actually have to do that in real life. That might have to be like a real life one. And more of my old school live unboxings, I might have to do that one. In fact, I might do that with that and the snake armor, because that will be easier. The biggest stuff tends to be a bit harder to kind of do on those vertical videos. Like I had a real mission doing the modular fortification on that video form. So I will do, I'll do snake armor and the Ore Striker kind of like as live unboxings instead. Not that that matters. No one cares. Should we move on? Yeah. So images, like I said, from His Tank and Toy Arc, and I just posted, courtesy of my good friend and colleague Chris Oliveri, who is at NYCC at the moment, of course. Shout out to Chris. And he took some lovely pictures of the Hasbro booth for me, and I just posted them. So there's another bunch of images just for you guys to check out if you're not actually at the con. But yeah, this is a great photo set as well. Lots of close-ups with the Toy Arc and some really good kind of detail shots. Here we see obviously Pythona, the figure of the moment right now. And also you can kind of see Cold Slither Zartan there. You can see a bit of Slice, sorry, a bit of Dice and a bit of Budo. I always do that. I always say the wrong character of a 2-pack or I'll say, like, you know, if it's Tomax and Zama, I'll say the wrong one and then know exactly that it's the wrong one that I've said, and I'll like say it properly. So I do that with like pretty much every single thing ever. I think it is just a problem with my brain wiring where my mouth just blurts out the thing and then I'm like, no, it's not that, it's this, every single time. Anyway, that's Dice. Would you say you were stricken with awe? Says hi, it's me. A little bit. I haven't got it out yet, Kitty said, obviously, but I am interested to see what I think about it in person, because we'll see a couple of images of it in a second, and I'll talk about my feelings currently about it. Figalexic, yes, Jedi Ben, that is a very good description of my issue there. Now, Pythona, we've seen this beautiful figure now lots of times. We're going to be looking at the promo images in a little while, and but I'm telling you right now, she is my figure of the year. I haven't opened Budo yet, though, and I think Budo might be a close second. If not, we'll have to see how it goes. But I think Pythona is probably going to edge it, honestly. How does Pythona stand without a stand? Absolutely, really well, Jason. Check out my little vertical video, because although on that unboxing, if you haven't already, all of those quick pose, I did like a bunch of poses and all that kind of stuff, and she didn't need like a lot of faffing to balance. She is very well balanced, and I think it's part of being sort of like a lighter figure that isn't, and even though she's got that massive hair, it's not really weighty, so it doesn't make her top heavy or anything. And the soft goods are light as well, so it doesn't really, but they hang really well, so it doesn't really knock her off balance. No, she stands and balances perfectly, trust me. Edge it, Kitty said. Thank you, Jamie Lynn. This month feels like Christmas 1989, Sandra. It does, doesn't it? Steps Toy says she doesn't come with one of the spores, sadly. I guess that'll be globulous. Yeah, so that's a good point, because I think they have to spread out some of these, and I think she got pretty much everything you'd expect her to come with. Like, the only thing that I would say she doesn't have that she should have is actually there's a couple of things. I think she should have a hand with the long nails on. It's just a normal one, just one of them, or maybe two of them, just with the longer extended nails, right? Just without the kind of dripping acid kind of like goo. just like long nail hands. I think she needs those, because that's the one outstanding thing I'd say that I think she does need that, because it's such an important thing when she cuts the wall down in the Terradrome, like, you know, the kind of maneuver with just her nails. Like, I kind of feel like that's something that should be in there. I do like the one that's got like slightly longer nails with that sort of like kind of like acid steam or whatever you call it, like kind of like the kind of smoke coming off her hand is kind of cool. But I also want one where she can turn her hand and hold certain things, and that's the only hand that she can really hold, like the gem of that size. One of the little kind of like cheeky gribblers that she's got. I'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, I think like the long nails is the only thing I'd say that she's missing. And the other thing that they didn't give her, that she kind of uses in the movie, she kind of throws two, I call them pufferfish grenades, but I don't know if that, because there's not like a really good like shot of what they are that she throws, but you see she's from a distance as well. It's when she's running towards Serpentor's like, you know, throne room thing, and she just lugs them sideways, and they go into the kind of pits where the kind of Crimson Guards and Televipers and stuff are, and they just blow up. And so there's, I mean, you might be able to say there's like kind of weird like snake like discus things could be that. But yeah, I kind of wish she'd come with sort of like those little grenades that she comes with, little pufferfish grenades. But anyway, phenomenal figure. Like, in terms of like things that you could really complain about, not having enough accessories ain't one of them. You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple of things that I kind of love them to have included, but I kind of feel like she just comes with so much stuff that I'm really glad they went and did the extra yard for. Like the four-headed electricity snake, which, you know, is something that is just amazing. They're kind of like eels, aren't they, actually, up inside you? But I've always called it the four-headed electricity snake, which makes no sense. But the one that chews the fence down. And the fact they did that is just perfect. The spores, yeah. So coming back to the spores, I think that could be with Globulus, Royal Guard, like a Cobra La Emissary, trying to think if there are any others that we like really desperately need. Oh, they could do. You could do like a Royal Guard army builder, and you could do like a named character Royal Guard, like in the comic at the moment, the Void Rivals, specifically Void Rivals Energon universe, where we're seeing a lot of Pythona, and I forget the name of Pythona's Royal Guard, sort of like second in command, but or like, you know, like side her like lieutenant or whatever. I don't know what the character's name is, but like something like that would be kind of cool. So there's options. There's definitely options where spores can come into this. And I think spores with, yeah, scientists would be cool. Cobra La Scientist 610, yeah, like Cobra Commander when he was, before he kind of turned, would be a really good one to do, I think. Yeah, Crimson Guard with melted face, says Carlos. Yeah, like kind of like, you know, just with the smoke coming off his face. By the way, the squidgy face hugger is so cool. It's got articulated wibblers on either side, and then one regular kind of fixed wibbler on the bottom. It's got three wibblers, but two of them are on ball joint kind of like arm thing. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. So you can kind of like pinch it tighter on different head sizes, but it's like, I don't know, it's just really awesome, really awesome. But yeah, anyway, Pythona, wonderful. We'll come back to Pythona because we're going to be looking at beautiful promo images. Shout out to Shooting the Galaxy. Shoot out to Shouting the Galaxy is the wrong version of that. Of course, we've got Slice and Dice here. I still have to unbox these beauties, but I am very excited. Or in this order, Dice and Slice. Okay. I don't want to be kind of like, what's the word, like accused of being a fake fan. I don't want to be accused of that. Here is Dice. I got it right this time because I'm focusing on it very, very carefully. Yeah, we've got dice first, and obviously, again, they've kind of put him in the Matrix pose, the old maneuver. I do like that. Very nice indeed. I see you guys. I see what you're doing in the booth, and I like it very much. And yeah, I cannot wait to bust this 2-pack open because there's so much in these sets. This one particularly that's just like full of cool stuff. And then of course Slice. The best way, if you ever have trouble remembering Slice and Dice and who they are, my early kind of like way of doing it when I was younger, when Orange Slice came out, it was so much easier because like Orange Slice being like a drink, I believe as well, but it's like an orange flavored drink, isn't it? And so Orange Slice kind of is very easy to remember. And so I know that Orange Slice is the repaint of the Red Slice, so it was very simple to remember who they were. And that's kind of stuck, apart from when my brain just blurts out a word like before. Full Force Podcast, I can't tell you how many times the word squidgy popped into my head watching your unboxing. Thank you. Good. Glad. Slice and Dice and Budo are amazing, Derek's Hollyman says. And even though I haven't bust them out yet, Kitty said, they look phenomenal. 46 Zone says sugar soda. Yeah, indeed. Orange Slice. Well, there's Red Slice anyway. So that's an easy way for me to remember how I used to remember them, and it kind of stuck. So if you're ever having trouble remembering who's who, just think Orange Slice. And even though he's red, you'll be able to work it out because it was a repaint. In fact, I would like to see them do a redeco of Slice in orange just for the sake of it. And maybe, what could they do dice deco wise? Has he had a redeco at any point? I suppose he was redecoed into the Red Ninja, right? Or like most of him was used. How much of was that even dice though? Hang on. Let me just check. You're probably all screaming at me in the comments at the moment now. It was mostly dice, wasn't it? It was all of dice. So you could technically, do a Orange Slice and Red Ninja Battle Axe Operator dice. Look at that color scheme, by the way. Oh, pink, neon pink and purple. Or like a really deep purpley, like a blue going into purple. Oh, yes, please and thank you. How is that a Red Ninja? What were they smoking at that point in 1993, guys? But that would be fun, wouldn't it? I think that would be a fun 2-pack where you'd have like ridiculous bright color versions of the two of them. And obviously one would be, you could even do it as like it could be like a dice it could be dice, but the like Red Ninja leader or whatever, because he kind of sort of is. Pretty sure they're Red Ninja leaders. He says, I can't remember the specificity in the file card. Oh no, he was a Cobra Night Creeper. Yeah, he was a Cobra Night Creeper. Of course he was. Well, just do the redeco anyway, and do Slice and Dice with those 2 decos, because I think that would be phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And it would be fun because that gets both of those particular figures sort of like done, and it's a reuse of those 2 like very exactly as well. So it's not like you have to do much. You have to make many changes. Krusty says, Dice led Night Creepers, Slice betrayed Storm Shadow. Yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, sorry, nice smoke on the water joke there, Bad Wolf, deep purple. Anyway, these are great. Budo, I think, like I said, had Pythona not come out this year, Budo would probably be my figure of the year. And he might, like, this is the thing, I haven't busted him out yet. And my sort of personality is often whatever the newest thing that's in my hand is usually what's like most exciting, Kitty said. So we'll see how that goes. But I do think that Budo is phenomenal. and so many options, so many cool display options for him. He just looks like a very phenomenal figure. So I think, yeah, I'm going to have some fun with him. This shipped today for me, the friggin' Sentry in the defense post. Like, go home, Pulse, you're drunk, because that's coming in. The MMS is also en route. The Ore Striker just got here. Is there anything else? Oh, Short Fuse and Steel is on the way. It's like, I can't, like, there's no breathing room. It's insanity at the moment. And I just wonder if it's going to be a bit of like a lull following all this. Anyway, I'm excited for the defense post, mainly because the Steel Core Sentry looks absolutely stunning. I'm a big fan of the Steel Core Sentry deco, and I just love new additions to my Steel Core. And also the fact that we haven't had this before, like, it doesn't really look like a Steel Brigade figure from the past. So yeah, I'm really up for this one. And then of course you have all the other beauties in and around it. We've got a bit of Short Fuse. There he is. Although it's funny how that it's funny how that blast effect looks really droopy. Like the mortar's not going to go very far, unfortunately, guys. That's going to blow up directly in front of you, I'm afraid. Mark Ross says, then people be crying Hasbro doesn't send nothing. I know. I feel like there needs to be a pretty substantial lull for a bit until, and then just get on like a nice steady cadence. Do you know what I mean? Hi, it's me says, will you get a second Pythona as the one you have is for Kate? Great point. That is Kate's. I got that specifically for Kate. And yes, so she could have it early and enjoy it. She's actually coming up, she's doing something very cool, which we will probably be sharing at some point in the future. I'm not going to say any more, but if you know Kate, then you'll know exactly the kind of cool stuff that she is capable of when it comes to customs and what have you. In any case, I'm very excited to see what she comes up with. But yes, I did order another Pythona for myself, for the display, as it were. Okay, so yeah, anyway, that's that. Yeah, so there's Short Fuse. Bad Wolf says, wait, Short Fuse and Steeler are shipping from Pulse. It was a get ready your collect. It wasn't a shipping notification. It was a get ready your collection is going to get bigger in email. It's the one just before it, before like you get the shipping notification. Anyway, yeah. So, and I believe Pythona is kind of shipping Noi, like straight away. So there's Short Fuse. Flint as well. I talked about Flint a second ago. Love this figure, and I do have that as well to do an unboxing with, and I'm very excited because obviously Flint is a huge favorite of mine. The backlog is kind of a bit bonkers. I don't know when I'm going to catch up. Probably in that lull that we'll have. I'm hoping. Maybe towards the end. Maybe there'll be a bit of a lull in sort of November, December time. I'm hoping. But yeah, I guess. When is Pythona released for open purchase? Asked David. November the 3rd for non-Pulse Premium members. So she'll go up for kind of like a pre-order on November the 3rd. Okay. And we'll keep reminding people as we get closer to that particular date. It's effectively what it is she's available at conventions through fall, which cover NYCC, MCM in London, so NYCC in New York, MCM London, and Luca Con in Italy. Those are the three cons that they're going to be making Pythona a kind of exclusive at. And then following that final convention on the 3rd of November is when she'll go up on Pulse for non-premium members. Cool. So yeah, they're making it sort of like con exclusive, but then also Pulse Premium online for a period. I don't know how long this period's going to last, honestly, for the Pulse Premium. Maybe until stocks last and it'll just sell out, maybe. then they reinvigorate it like on the 3rd of November, or they have stock put aside, or they do another pre-order run. I don't know. I guess that's to be found out at the end of the day, but that's effectively what's going on. I just don't know the end point of this premium sort of window. I'm just assuming it's when they sell out for premium folks, and then we have, of course, the wonderful steel core Sentry, which again, I fell in love with this deco and this kind of like this version of it, because again, it's something new to the line. It's new without being crazy new. Like, it's safe. It's a safe new, isn't it? Whatever that is. And I feel like they do what they do. They do incorporate new elements into classified, but they keep it like almost like within reach. So it's a steel core figure. So yes, it's something different, but it's effectively what we know and love in that it is, steel core. It's all good. Same with the Grim Viper. It's like something new, but it's recognizable. So it's something that it's like a safe bet of doing something new within the classified series. I'd like to see them start doing really different, crazy new things. Wolf Spider was really cool and interesting. I think they kind of missed a little bit by not giving him an actual head sculpt and really kind of giving us something genuinely new to the line. Guillermo has written Pythona in the comment. I was charged for Pythona within 10 minutes of placing the order. Yeah, same. But you've written it how I wrote it accidentally and then found her on the search, which I find really funny. Like, it's really interesting little accident that actually benefited me at the end of the day. Anyway, so so coming back to the new stuff with classified, they do tend to try and keep it fairly safe when they do new things. But like I said, Wolf Spider was kind of cool. The Mole Rat has been probably the most interesting different new thing in the line, like completely fresh, no other real connection except maybe sort of like a similarity to the sort of Hazard and Volcano Vipers of the kind of Pursuit of Cobra, Rise of Cobra era, or Rise of Cobra, Pursuit of Cobra era. So I think the Mole Rat is definitely up there in terms of like new, done really well. And then like the other new things are kind of like within the design of a character we already know. Excuse me. But like for the most part, they do tend to, if there's something new in the line, it'll be like a redeco, something that we know and love, like this beauty. Here is the other one. Sure, Steeler. Did it again, didn't I? Steeler in the background here, just kind of chilling, getting a rifle off his rack. There you go, nice one. He's firing that inside the inside the building, it looks like. No, I'm kidding. That looks very cool. I'll be very interested to see how fast the Mole Rat Phase 2 sells out. Yeah, who knows? I think it's definitely one of those ones where people are sort of like loving it or hating it. I think, obviously the deco immediately kind of, deletes a certain section of the fandom. And I'm not saying that in any sort of derogatory way, but it definitely, like, I'm just saying like facts, there'll be like certain aspects that will then, a certain group are not going to enjoy that. And the same vice versa, like there'll be other things or other aspects or other characters that will like not interest certain people in the fandom. And again, that's totally fine. You can enjoy it however you want to enjoy it. But like if they did a character from like Sergeant Savage or Extreme, I know for a fact some people would just be like, not really my thing, but you guys enjoy it, sort of thing. Hi, it's me says they store the knife blade up. These guys do. These absolute nightmares do. But yeah, I would probably say that you'd want to, in reality, flip that the other way around. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to see how that Mole Rat does, because I think it is a love it or hate it sort of thing at the moment. Obviously, the first one seemed to be universally liked and enjoyed and sold out. So, but that was also a Walmart exclusive at the time, and they were like it was like trying to find like rocking horse poop, wasn't it, or unicorn ejaculate. Yes, I just said that. Probably the only word I could have said of the many ways to describe that particular substance that won't get the video shut down. And then, of course, the wonderful cover girl there, who again, that one is in the pile of unboxing figures that need to be done. And another shot there of the steel core Sentry. And then we have the G.I. Joe green shirt trooper rock and roll randomly in the background as well, the retro rock and roll. And you can also see an element of the MMS there as well. Lovely stuff. And of course, Hawk. Yeah, so this is en route at the moment to me. So I'm rapidly running out of room. So what I'm going to have to do is rearrange my entire display again, because I've got to fit an MMS on there, an Ore Striker. My 50s don't fit in my wallet, and my diamond shoes are too tight. Like, what am I complaining for? Just move some things around. Stop moaning about it, McLeod. And then, of course, yeah, here's the MMS with Hawk. I'm excited for this one too. I like this one for many reasons. One of which, it's going to make the Vamp the Vamp Mark 1, the Vamp look phenomenal, and or the Ore Striker. So I'll see which one I prefer rocking this. I have a feeling that the MMS might look really good with the Ore Striker. Might sort of like balance out a sort of issue I'm having proportionally with the Ore Striker. Just every image I see of it, I'm not feeling the proportion, the kind of shape. I'm not vibing with it as much as I want to. So it will be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see when I actually bust that out, if I like it more in, in hand, Kitty said. Jedi Ben says, dang, forget Kitty said. Chris is dirtying it up. I know, I did, didn't I? It does look really good behind the Vamp, says Blitz. I'm excited to see in both options, honestly. And to be fair, the Stinger and the Cobra version, the SMS, look phenomenal as a pairing. So I think it only makes sense to really do it with the Vamp, because it's gonna be like the it's gonna be like the yin and yang kind of vibe. Once you open it, you'll love it, says Boba Fett Gaming. I'm sure I will. It's just I keep seeing images, and the images are really doing my head in, and I want to stop looking at it and just like actually see it and enjoy it myself. It hasn't struck awe in me yet, 46 Zone, not yet. And this is a shot that is kind of one of the reasons why I think the front is just too. It's too. It doesn't. It's. I don't know. Like I said, I need it in hand. After you, Kitty said. But yeah, it's. Yeah. We'll see. I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions, because when Lenny showed it on the interview as well, on camera in real life, I was like, oh no, that looks great. I love it. I just think in some sort of angles, it just doesn't really do it for me. Well, I'll stop moaning about it now anyway, and I'll just unbox it and just shut up. But there you go. Crankcase looks absolutely brilliant though. It looks like he looks like the guy in the first Deadpool movie. Is it? I forget his name now. Just he's not super hero or anything, but he's the only one I think that like survives in, like, all the other ones like Shatterstar and all those, they all kind of like pass away or whatever and die in the first like moment that they're utilized. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of him, that sort of like regular looking dude. Peter, thank you, Rekship. At least I have the blast effects correct on the Ore Striker, says Evil Dookie. I guess. Yeah, you're right, they do. And then, of course, Mercer, who I do have in hand, Mercer and Sarge. Sarge was on the back of the Ore Striker as well. I forgot to mention that. But I am looking to, I'll be unboxing that 2-pack as well. That is in my hand. Well, not in my literal hands, but it's in the area. Mercer's looking good, I've got to admit. I prefer his more neutral face to the kind of smart, like snarky one. But yeah, I think Mercer looks really, really good. And then, of course, the Ghost Viper and Crystal Ball, they look really good together with the same Dire technology. I'm excited to have like a couple of these guys behind Crystal Ball and like sort of like a Dire army sort of thing. I think it's going to be really cool. So yeah, and I love that the file card that we read before just really gives you a little bit more, doesn't it? And kind of makes you like the figure and the character even. Well, it does for me anyway. When I read those little bios and it's a little bit of like extra, and it's especially the way like Mark's been doing. The shout out to Mark, by the way, the copywriter or the copywriter at for the Classified and for I think other things with Hasbro. I'm not actually sure. I just know he's working on Classified. Obviously, does a phenomenal job. And like I said, was it the Twilight Guard I absolutely fell in love with because of his bio, making them sort of like this, almost like, you know, tricked into thinking that they're actually good, like, you know, like really important and big-headed and all that. You know, it was just a really well-written file card, and I like the little backstory for it as well. So yeah, he's done that a few times to me now, and then with this particular file card, yeah, fell in love with the Ghost Viper even more. And I kind of really like the possible Ghostbusters G.I. Joe crossover that you probably end up having. I could see them doing a comic. I could see them doing a crossover Joe Ghostbusters comic. I could see it happen. I could see it being very Sunbow related as well, like Sunbow Real Ghostbusters sort of vibes, because obviously both of those things have happened in comic form. Yes, obviously the Sunbow related kind of like, was it Saturday Morning, or I think it was Saturday Morning Adventures was IDW, but they did the same with Ghostbusters. We had the kind of like Real Ghostbusters kind of style characters in comics. So I think that'd be kind of fun. Again, what if doesn't have to be like, you know, it doesn't have to be like in any other continuity. I think it'd be kind of like a fun thing to really try. Honestly, I think it would. And I'm like not one of those people that jumps immediately on specific crossovers. Like, I was kind of getting a little bit tired of the Masters of the Universe crossovers until that Transformers one leaked the other day. Has that actually come out yet, like officially, or is it still sort of leak phase? I haven't really looked at that, but I saw the Motu Transformers leak images, and oh my goodness, what a cool crossover that is with the the blooming shark vehicle and the absolutely like blanking on the names here, of course, on a live stream. It doesn't matter. But anyway, they look really cool. But and I'm not one of, like, again, I thought the Thundercats Motu one was like, it's all right, but it's not really. I don't see I kind of see those two sort of operating in a similar universe anyway, Thundercats and He-Man. So in terms of a crossover, I don't really see the point of doing like a character crossover with Thundercats and He-Man. I thought that was, I don't know, just it doesn't do anything for me, is what I'll say about that. And there's lots of things like that when it feels a little bit like forced, or just not like a little bit. It just didn't seem to be doing anything really cool or original with that particular crossover. And apologies if you're like really into it. It's not, you know, I'm not trying to antagonize or anything. It's just, yeah, it's just something didn't really grab me. The wrestling Motu kind of stuff is kind of interesting in certain places, but it's like, I feel like they'll do one figure with a character and you kind of think that would have been better with that character, or that would have made more sense with this character. That got, you know, and so I find myself doing that with the wrestling Motu stuff. And it is a little bit looser. It's not like directly the character, like the Master Universe character. They just kind of have a very like an homage almost on them, don't they? But yeah. Hi, it's me. This does say this though. The Thundercats He-Man crossover gave you straight versions of the Thundercats that fit the scale of Motu, so that was cool. No, you're right. There's that element, because obviously the original Thundercats toys are a weird scale, aren't they? So yeah, you're totally right on that one. I want to say, did Master Universe Classics and Thundercats, like the Super 7 ones, they're all kind of similar sizes, aren't they? Right? didn't they do like sort of like similar scale stuff? Anyway, it's all getting very confusing now. But anyway, I think a Ghostbusters Joe crossover would be kind of fun. I think it would. Here's a long shot of the kind of latest figures that are on the way. Sci-fi, yes, I do have sci-fi, of course, and I'm apologies because I'm just going to keep, I'll keep saying I've got sci-fi because he's amazing. And of course, I have had and seen Wetsuit in human form, and it's amazing. Wetsuit is another one. I think if when we do our like year in review sort of thing in around kind of Christmas time and then New Year, we'll do our specials as usual, and get as many people on as possible. And I think like in terms of my top, because we'll have to do top threes because any more than that just gets ridiculous. Classified is going to be one really difficult to do this year because there's been so much good stuff. It's going to be one where we're going to have to do like our top three vehicles and our top three figures and like it's going to have to be like that really. We have had a lot of vehicles. I mean, like Rattler was one, of course. The Snake Armor, Ore Striker. What else have we had this year in terms of vehicles? I can't remember the other ones. Anyway, I mean, that might be all of them. I can't think off the top of my head. But yeah, Wetsuit is going to be high up on my list, I think. Wetsuit, Budo, and of course Pythona. I may have just given away my top three right there, honestly. But yeah, Sci-Fi is also a very phenomenal figure. Here we can see Mainframe and get a good gauge of just like how much shorter he will be. Not that much. I mean, he is shorter, but he doesn't stand out like a sore thumb, in my opinion. And again, like I don't really have a problem with him being a little bit shorter because I don't think his character really necessarily needs to be a certain height necessarily. Also, I kind of feel like he's going to be sitting down a lot. He's going to be at stations with his laptops, like he doesn't need to be running around as much. Anyway, it really depends how he lines up with Zorana, in my opinion. Maybe they thought to make them of similar heights so that you could pair them up nicely. In any case, yeah, I'm definitely not of the Mainframe hater kind of crew. I think he looks really awesome actually, and he comes with so much cool stuff. Like the laptop's dope, all the little kind of communicators and bits and bobs and everything. Oh, it's just so good. Blitz says, I believe she's taller. Interesting. Based on a comparison shot, because I haven't seen him next to her yet. That would be an interesting comparison actually to see. I mean, it might just make sense to put Tunnel Rat next to her and see what the deal is there. Anyway, yeah. And then, of course, my sleeper hit of the year. We got to reveal this, and I'm never going to stop gushing over that, by the way. We got to officially reveal the render for Grim Viper, and that is that I'm gonna be living off that for a long time. And so I really love this guy. The deco, it kind of has Steel Core Sentry vibes, and probably why I like the Steel Core Sentry as well. Very similar sort of gear, like deco wise. So I think they're going to look kind of cool battling each other. I think. I love the explosions for the eyes. I think that is a really interesting but fun touch, like the kind of black Greedo background card backs on their eyes with the explosions around. It's just so good. These are mean looking for sure. Love it. And then of course Major Blad, who I've got in hand. He's made it through unboxing and onto display. So he's well covered ears. Major Blad. And then of course Snake Eyes version 4. Again, he's gone through that process as well. Really love this figure. My only issue with this figure is the fact he doesn't come with a backpack that would add extra storage for his grappling hook. That's the only thing for me. I absolutely think the actual figure itself is beautiful, really nice sculpt, lovely kind of deco on him. Yeah, you could apply maybe like a wash on the grey secondary, but it kind of like pops in light anyway. Like you can see all the details on it like there. I don't have an issue necessarily with that, but yeah, they could have hit it with something, I think, just to kind of, really highlight some of those pouches and details. But honestly, he's so cool looking. I'm looking at him right now. He's next to my version 2 Storm Shadow, my two favorite versions of those characters of all time. I love version 4 Snake Eyes. I love version 2 Storm Shadow. It's just, that's how I'm built, unfortunately. Real Zim says, love the Grim Viper. I just wish they had included an additional gun. I really don't mind that, because there are so many guns in the line. Like, how have you not got an excess of weapons if you collect this line? Like, I just feel like there are so, or do you mean like a new different gun? Because the amount of like extra weapons I have, you could probably fill a friggin' bucket with them. It's nuts. Like, so many accessories in this line. If you've been collecting it even for like 1 year, you should have more weapons than you need. Todd says, can I tell Lenny the crankcase waist is being assembled a bit wonky? The peg sits too high. I'll tell you right now, Todd, he will not need telling that, because that will be something that he would be probably going over and over and over again, like, and looking at, and probably didn't want that to be the case, but there's not much they can do about it at this stage. Ore Striker is shipping, says George. Better than that, Ore Striker is here. Got it. It's in my possession. Michael says, definitely needs a wash. Me, or because I do need a wash. Grey looks too visibly plastic on the Snake Eyes version 4. Yeah, I guess. I don't think it looks well, I know what you mean. I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I kind of like this lighting particular actually looks really good. But yeah, I'm with you. I think a wash would definitely have looked a little, more realistic for sure. Snake Eyes version 3 it's got to happen at some point. I don't see them that's going to be one that's going to be like they're holding on to some of these particular versions, aren't they? Because they know they're going to be absolute bangers. I think Stalker version 2 with a kayak, that has to happen at some point. I think version 3 Snake Eyes has to happen at some point. But these are big uns, in my opinion. Even like a version 2 rock and roll as well. And then, of course, you've got Monkey Wrench, which I thought was going to be my figure of the year until all these other figures came out. And even though he's absolutely phenomenal, and I've done an unboxing of him as well, I feel like the ones I've mentioned have kind of nudged him off of my top 3. But this is one of those things. I'll probably go back over all of this, and I'll look at them again, and I'll line them up, and I'll kind of be like, what are my actual favorites? And I think, things might move around, but honestly, I genuinely think at the moment I'm kind of like for at least 3, and not any specific order at the moment: Pythona, Budo, and Wetsuit. But we'll have to see how it all goes. Also, if Wetsuit is in hand 2026, then he's off the table anyway. Like, he ain't part of the 2025, top 3 for me personally. So it might be that Monkey Wrench slips back in, Kitty said. Steps Toys says, Monkey Wrench didn't land too hard for me. He's good, not great. For me, he landed harder than I ever expected. I'm like, yeah, this is like Monkey Wrench on crack. Like, it's absolutely like this, everything is cranked up a bit. I don't know. I think he's really good. What would be your dream release that Hasbro asked you to reveal? Asked Scott. I think but I would say anything of the European Tiger Force, right? And I'm just putting that out there quickly before I say the obvious one. So, like, if they were to do a Tiger Force hit and run, or a Tiger Force sneak peek, or Tunnel Rat, or Blizzard, or what else? Psych Out. Obviously, we've already got Outback. But yeah, like, if they were to do something like that, I would love to be the one that revealed a Tiger Force European exclusive classic character. But failing that, Lightfoot, because that would be phenomenal. If they did Lightfoot, I would absolutely crap my pants. And then I'd also be like, please, I will pay you for like being able to reveal that on the channel. Like that's what I would literally, I might even do that myself. I might even tell them now. I might even say, hey, I'm just putting this out here. If we do this one, can I reveal that one? That's actually given me an idea, Scott, to actually force that issue. Polar bear snake eyes, of course, radioactive snake eyes. Feels like so long ago that I unboxed the snake eyes and polar bear, and the polar bear as well looks phenomenal. Again, two absolute bangers in one set, and I've hardly really given them the time of day. Like, did the unboxing, really like messed about with them and played with them and thought they were great, stuck them in display, and just have not returned because it's just relentless, isn't it? Absolutely relentless. Desert Scorpion's a good shout as well, Twisted, because I haven't broken that one out yet. That could slip in. That could take over Monkey Wrench. Then, of course, we've got the Divers, which, oh yeah, they're in transit as well. Divers, MMS, Short Fuse, and Steeler. I say in transit. They're in that sort of phase where some are about to go. Divers are, I think, in transit, and I think MMS is as well. Nuts, isn't it? And of course, Breaker too. Like, yeah, I unboxed him, enjoyed him, and I haven't looked at him since. It's crazy. My favorite times is when I have to redo all of my displays, take everything down and kind of put it back again, because it really gives me time with each figure again. And it's just really difficult though. The more they release, the less opportunity and time I have to actually enjoy them. Badwell says, you did tell them, Chris. You know the team always watches your stream. The Hasbro booth is closed at NYCC while you're on the air, without a doubt. Yeah, probably. Or not at all, actually, but I that's funny. And then, of course, the mass device elements that came with all of those previous figures we just talked about, the Divers, Breaker, and the Polar Bear and Snake Eyes. And then another shot here, another wide shot showing some more retro figures, the Legacy Cop and the Desert Scorpion, which, kind of got bumped to this level. But we've got another version of the green shirt here. Obviously, they've got the other version, the other skin tone version of the green shirt in the other part of the booth. You got a Viper, retro Viper in the background there, a retro Mindbender there as well, with the retro bat out of the package. And then you've got the Legacy Police Officer, ESU, which did get a very stealthy release, didn't it? My goodness, that just popped up out of nowhere in all the different places at random times. And then, of course, the Desert Scorpion with SKR PR 1025 or whatever the hell it's called. And the Scorpion, like, again, I think I'm probably going to fall in love with this as well. But then, I'm kind of really like, glossing over Slice and Dice because I think I might fall in love with them too. Yeah, there's just so much going on. Flint as well, like Flint. The Televiper, Cover Girl. Anyway, I've also got Cobra Commander to do as well. Battle Armor Cobra Commander. It's nuts. Anyway, there is your close-up of one of the Desert Scorpion looks with the visor. Very cool. I'm probably going to default to this, but I do like the extra head sculpt in there as well. That's really cool. I might use some of my extra heads on trooper bodies if they fit, because I've got this abundance of extra heads that, alternates, or sometimes even just the actual heads that I'm not using. The Scorpion is phenomenal. Like, that is incredible, isn't it? Just beautiful stuff. And then a little section that even shows off the zebra Cold Slither box set as well, which is here by my side as well, which I need to open and unbox and enjoy. And a little bit more, we'll cover a little bit more as well of Cold Slither in a second. Let's get on to Pythona promo images. I know this one's going on for ages, but I don't care. I'm enjoying myself. If you are, you might not be. You might just hurry up, Chris. Now, I have searched in the backgrounds of these images really carefully, and I cannot find any little homage or anything, anything different. So unless you guys have found something or seen something, let me know. But I believe it's the same sort of like cave sort of area that Nemesis Immortal was in, with a little bit of like weird like smoke on the floor, which is really awesome. I love that effect. Badwell says, did they follow through on the plan to keep head balls and stuff the same in the line to make things more interchangeable? Yeah, going forward from a certain point, they did, yes, as far as I'm aware. I do jokingly did see a snake armor in one of the picks, Bad Wolf. We'll talk about it in a second. Luke says, Chris, there's no hidden figure or Easter egg in the smoke of those images. I know I've tried looking so darn hard. I really have. But you can see her here, like with all of her accessories, kind of showing everything off, with the kind of Tron Legacy snake discs, which I've assumed is like the insides of the snake pulled out of its mouth and wrapped around and up its butt. That's kind of what it feels like they've done. Just pulled the intestine bit out, or like, you know, the internal bit, like turned it inside out and just flapped it round. What am I talking about? Lunchbox Killer 805. Hello. He says, I couldn't tell you which new classified I like the most. I just get one or two almost every day. Dude, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, Heights Me says Desert Scorpion is just a faceplate, so no extra head. Thank you, Heights Me. I would have found that out, obviously. But I will say that that at least, you know, I know there's a lot of other heads that I'm not using that I can use. I see a shoe in the background, says Andrew. Yeah, it could be. There's like a lot of, I mean, you can see like all her random accessories knocking about. Yeah, it's all her accessories. And then there she is, like with her dripping fingers, Kitty said. I do love that. I think that's a really fun accessory. And I used it when she was like, I did that shot where she was fighting Jinx in the video. But again, I would love just two simple hands, actually, both left and right, with the extended nails, because I just think that's something that I would use a lot, you know. But yeah, these shots are great. Massive again. Shout out to Shooting the Galaxy, the guys, you know, Corey and Matt Hasbro, who do amazing photography with these figures. I will probably be getting Matt on again to go through all this stuff, because it's been a while. I say a while, it's been like 2 months, and then we've had 500 new releases, so we need to kind of talk about some stuff again. I need to talk with Lenny and Tony again pretty soon as well. Like, that unfortunately got, as you can understand, that got pushed a little bit with all the other stuff that was going on with, you know, like all the news coming out of the move and everything. You know, lots of other things were kind of happening and going on. So unfortunately, interviews kind of got pushed to the side. So like I said, I'm always asking, I'm always trying to set these things up, and we will get another one, you know, as soon as humanly possible. Plus, I want to talk about NYCC with these guys after the fact. Hella Geek says, Chris, you did a fine job hitting the Pythona tropes in your unboxing video. Thank you, Hella Geek. I tried to do as many as I could. I wanted to get Sarge in there with the squidgy face hugger on. I wanted to get her sort of like using the tapeworm, but with the hood up, because she's kind of like hidden at that point, isn't she, in the actual movie? And then I wanted to do, what was the other one? Obviously, giving the gem of that size, I was going to grab Zartan, but I just, you know, I couldn't be bothered at the end of the day. Which is funny because he was literally right next to me. I could have just reached over and grabbed him. I got the other ones. I got like Once a Man and Nemesis, and I was going to get Serpentor, but it's like, it's a vertical video. Like, you're not going to be able to see half of these in there. I'm not going to be able to fit them in. So yeah, I did my lazy best to try, because the funny thing is, it was delivered to my house. I opened it, did the unboxing video and edited it all within 1 hour of getting it. Can you believe that? Well, believe it, baby, because that's what happened. Anyway, and there she is, of course, with Sans cape with the Tron Legacy snake discs. And yeah, I couldn't see anything in there. Not Crystal Ball like hiding in the background like Nemesis Immortal. But it does make me wonder, like, you know, we don't get many of these that often. Why don't they put an Easter egg in every single, not every single image, but every single release? For, like, it's not every single time though, is it? And actually, quite recently, there have been moments where we haven't had anything. We've had like figure showing up in the background in the kind of like the building behind Budo and Slice and Dice. We had obviously Slice and Dice showed up in Budo's artwork, promo images before they kind of came out. So that was an Easter egg at the time. And of course, there was the retro bat was also in Budo's, I think, where he was kind of chopping the head off. And I think that had been like, I'm not sure if that had been like officially released yet or shown off. But yeah, that was it might have been already out at that point, and it was just like we noticed that it was a battle android trooper and probably a retro one. What else was I going to say? Yeah, so but and Crystal Ball was the big one, wasn't he, in the background of Nemesis Immortals images. So, but I think they should just do it in every single one. Like whatever figure they've got in some sort of development, get it in the background. Get like a little shoe in the background. The Ghost Viper was shown off as well, wasn't it? The boots of the Ghost Viper was shown off in whatever was released beforehand on that diorama. God, I can't remember who it was now. Do you guys remember who that was? Jedi Ben says, because I'm a true professional. What, doing that thing in an hour? Yeah, it was impressive. The edit as well. Like, it was absolutely rapid. I don't think if you'd have seen me, the excitement to get that friggin' thing out was insane, Kitty said. That was a hella productive hour, Chris. You nailed that video. Thank you very much, Hi, it's me. Appreciate that very much. Hello, Rancid Dragon Productions. Quick Kick and Beachhead, Bad Wolf. Yes, correct. It was Quick Kick and Beachhead. We had the Ghost Viper's boot was in it, wasn't it? Or boots were kind of shown off in those images. So yeah, they are happening fairly regularly, but it's not in every one. But we need to do it. We need to do it. Anyway, there you go. That's that. Then we've got these shots were, again, the one on the left I think is one of my favorites of her. I just love that neutral face. I think she looks phenomenal, and I love the big hair. I do like the fact that we've got two different hair pieces with her, to have like a shorter one as well. Like I kind of like that. Again, a little bit of different sort of vibe and everything, and also it fits a little bit more comfortably under the cape. So it's nice to have the fact that she's got hair, but also the cape fits nice and comfortably. I think it still goes on even with the big hair, to be honest. I think I even checked that when I put it on. And yeah, I believe it goes over the top, but obviously doesn't sort of fill the space at the back in the same way that the smaller hairpiece does. But yeah, there you go. I love that little crabby thing as well with the little kind of like beak. It's like a beak. It's got like a crab body, and then it's got like spider legs. It's absolutely terrifying. I love it. Yeah, and like again, like here she is, kind of they're showing off her. I called it the mutated hand at first. Obviously, it's not. It's got like kind of it's like steam or acid, sort of like, you know, steam kind of coming off her hand as she's kind of like burning people's faces or whatever. But it's the only hand that really holds anything, like any of the creatures or the gem of that size. Her sea grip hands, obviously, she doesn't really have anything other than the Tron sort of snake discs. They don't really kind of hold anything else. And of course, we know that the kind of the four-headed eel sort of situation that wraps around her arm, so it looks like she's kind of lugging it. But yeah, I kind of wish there'd been just a regular open hand, or you do two full long nail hands, and they could kind of be used to hold things like that. Crabs are spider, says Chris G. Thank you. You're right. But yeah, love that that gem of that size as well. Very awesome. And the cloak, the cape is just could they have done a better job with that cape? I do not think so. I really don't think they could. Scott says, remember SDCC when Emily gave a teaser photo of something upcoming? Any guesses? Well, it looked to me like, I think, and to a lot of people, like it could belong to like Globulus, because it had that sort of like bony, crustacean-y sort of like armor kind of effect in the same way that Nemesis Immortal had. And I think it could either be a Royal Guard thing or it could be a Nemesis, a Royal Guard thing or a Globulus thing is what I think it's going to be. Personally, it'll be something from that character from the movie. I think in that sense from Cobra La. I can't really see it being anything else, honestly, but we'll see. I guess I don't know if that'll be revealed over the panel, but it might do because that kind of would line up nicely, wouldn't it? Although I feel like the Ore Striker was revealed much later after that kind of tease at NYCC. So we'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. But yeah, lovely stuff. And then these, I think, are the final images. Here she is kind of running and throwing the snake at the same time. The four-headed electricity eel, I suppose we'll call it now. Lugging that, which is really cool. And of course, all of her crazy little accessories and the gem of that size there as well. Brilliant stuff. You got the squidgy face hugger, you got the tapeworm clam, you got the sticky clam, you've got the four-headed electricity snake eel, and you've got Gilbert, the Gilbert, because then of course we've also got Gwibbler and what was the bat one called on the what was bat called? Bat crab or something. Bat. I've forgotten what the bat was called, guys. His wings as a creature. Someone remind me what it was because I've completely forgotten. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Nemesis Immortal's wings come off and become a creature themselves, and we call them something based on someone in the comments that said an amazing name for them. And I've just completely forgotten all of that, other than Gwibbler, which is the Nemesis Immortals kind of like tentacle beast thing. And it was something bat, wasn't it? Bat something. Oh, it's going to drive me mad. It was a really good name for it as well. Someone will remember, and you'll just tell me later. In any case, that's Gilbert, the little crab, leggy, beaky thing. I would call him Beaker, but he's a Gilbert. Gilbert Beaker is his full name. Anyway, that's that. Like I said, Hasbro Pulse will be doing a live stream, kind of fan stream, following the panel tomorrow at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So the panel is at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I imagine all the information will be pouring out of that. A lot of the other ones have been recorded as well. Like people have been live streaming. Lots of people have been live streaming the panel. So I'm sure it'll be fairly easy to find a live stream of the panel somewhere and follow along with it. And then, of course, we will report following all of the good kind of reveals and everything. And of course, following the actual, the actual fan stream when we get like better images and shots of everything and all that kind of stuff. There you go. There you go. Yeah, so that excited for that. Also during the panel, they're going to be revealing a first look at a covert new vehicle designed for icy terrain. Now, there are multiple kind of schools of thought on this one. Obviously, the covert and new aspect is throwing some spanners in the works for the almost certain Arctic hiss. But again, covert and new does not really describe that. But you never know. It could just be one of those things that is sort of throwing us a little in a different direction. But we'll have to see, won't we? And I can't wait to see. Oh, yes, Heligeek, you're right. Yes, the crab bug with the little beak is the key they use to unlock the prison cell at Cobra La. No, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what it is. And its little leggies are going when its little beak goes in the thing. You're absolutely 100% correct. Michael Bird says all these guesses are mit or hiss. I like it. I'm hoping it's an Arctic Cobra stun, says Wilfredo. That would be phenomenal. Just a regular stun, please, and thank you. But an Arctic one. Oh, what's funny is the stun is in the Himalayas in the movie as well, but not as like an Arctic version. Wonder if pre-orders will pop tomorrow. They won't, Rancid Dragon. Pre-orders for anything that happens in cons are always following the cons. So expect them in the week following. I would say, what was it, the 14th? Was it the 9th today? So it's 10th, 11th, 12th. Was it Tuesday? I think there was a possible spot for Hasbro pre-orders on Entertainment Earth's drop. So I think we're kind of guessing around the 14th. So the pre-orders won't go up, but we'll be seeing new stuff and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just to set expectations, expect any pre-orders to happen following the show, but expect the reveals for said pre-orders to happen on the panel and the live stream. Hope that makes sense for everybody watching. White says Marvel is dropping pre-orders tomorrow from something they revealed today, but they've told you, so that's different. And yeah, also different brands do different things. Executioner Wave Builder figure, yeah, looks cool as well, actually. In fact, what was it? What's it called? The friggin' Apocalypse. Hot damn, that looks amazing. Snake Eyes says, hope it's the Battle Bear, but I would be okay if it was Stalker with a kayak. We'll see, Snake Eyes, 8181. We shall see. Anyway, a couple more Cold Slither things to talk about. Cobra New York t-shirts for the first 100 through the door at Gramercy on the 11th of October to see Cold Slither live, of course, in New York. Go check it out. Tickets available on Ticketmaster. You can find them on our social links and that. Yeah, on Facebook and Instagram and Blue Sky and pretty much everywhere. So yeah, go nuts and find them. And also just go to Cold Slither's, you know, socials as well, the official Cold Slither socials, because they'll have all of that there. And also, this made me laugh as well. The signing session by Cold Slither at New York Comic Con will be on Friday. That's tomorrow. Now, it says October 10th, obviously, but it says 12:15 p.m. to 1 p.m. That is right, actually. 12:15 p.m. to 1 p.m. So what, 45 minutes? Yeah, got 45 minute spell there to get anything signed from the Cold Slither group. And that's at Hasbro booth 1012. And Annie's here. Hello, sweetheart. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Do you want to say hi to everyone? Come here, my little pumpkin. Come here. Yeah. Oh, it's always awkward, isn't it, trying to get you from under my table? There you go. Do you want to say hi to everyone? I know. Are you being a sweet angel? Yeah, you are. She gets a bit like, you know, she wants to, she kind of stands at the top of the stairs while I'm doing this, and she kind of waits. Isn't she the most adorable little creature ever? Yeah, you are. Anyway, I'm going to do the rest of this with Annie sitting here and just breathing into my ear. You having fun? Yeah? Good girl. Thank you. All right, so yeah, so that, no, she's down. She's done. You're done. I know when she's had enough. There we go. Good girl. She's going to have a look. No, she's gone back upstairs. Brilliant. Just checking to make sure I'm okay. She's adorable. Anyway, that is the signing session tomorrow, 12:15 p.m. at the Hasbro booth. Make sure you get some cool stuff signed and that. And then, of course, the last bit before we get into kind of any listing updates, MCM Comic Con London on the 25th of October. So we're getting another panel. We're getting more G.I. Joe classified kind of reveals and chat and what have you. Lenny and Emily are going to be there. And there you go. Very exciting. Cannot wait to see what they've got for us in less than a month. Oh my God. It's like a couple of weeks away. What the hell? Are they going to do what? Are they going to do a panel at Luca as well? Like, are they doing one in Italy? Like, seriously, I can't keep up. There's too much to do all the time. No, it's a good thing. I'm not complaining really. And that brings us to the leak listings section. So 2025. Look at all that green. It's all officially green apart from the red bits. Yeah, I said that. All the stuff that was, you know, up for kind of a little bit of debate is now green. It's all been ordered, pre-ordered, what have you, to some degree. I know there's still a little bit of Pythona to go for a lot of the non-premium members following all the cons. So that'd be the 3rd of November, just to remind everybody. She'll go up for pre-order again at that stage. Chairface. Still absolutely no clue, and it's driving me bonkers. Unknown vehicle, can't say anything. Hopefully we'll be able to unlock that this weekend, is all I'll say on that one. Hopefully. Squishy says MMC or MCM London equals Chairface ? Could be. I don't know. Absolutely no clue. I'm hoping so. I just want to know what the fudge it is, honestly. Rancid says it's a Mobat. It's not a Mobat as far as I'm aware. Danny says I scored my Pythona. My Pythona. Brilliant. I'm happy for you, Danny. Wait, will the unknown vehicle still be a 2025 at this point? Bad Wolf Media asks. We don't know yet. So it stays here until we can reveal what it is. And either it moves away from this list and goes into 2026, or it stays and we're like, we're actually getting this in 2025. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And of course, Ralph T is inactive. He'll always stay inactive, and that isn't going to change. So it's really just those two for 2025, the listings anyway, left. Now, of course, some of the things that are going to be revealed at this stage of the year show up on this listings list because it's the in hand. It's not when they're revealed, it's when they arrive in hand. So obviously Lifeline, Night Viper, Hit and Run, Big Lob and Mole Rat are that first wave aiming for like being in hand in 2026. So we'll see them. Obviously, we've already seen them in render form, but we'll see them revealed as pre-orders, I imagine, this weekend, and then, have them in hand, in 2026. Also, yes, I made Snowcat green, and I know Squishy's very happy about that. Yeah, very good. And there's a few people that were like, shouldn't Gleep, aka Snowcat, be green now? We've ordered it. Hurry up, deal with it, sort it out. So I've done it. It's sorted. I'm also expecting that we'll probably have Lifeline to Mole Rat. They'll be green by, what did I say, like Tuesday if it's the 14th, based on that Entertainment Earth drop zone situation. So yeah, I'm thinking by Tuesday they'll be green as well. And then of course we've got the possibility of maybe seeing some unlocks on here based on what they show off on the weekend. Anyway, yeah. Right. There we go. Right, I think that's everything, right? Yeah, Taurus and Red Dog, Iceberg, the other two on there. And that's pretty much all we know officially right now. Last but not least, I've updated these two. So the name-only reveals has been whittled down to just Iceberg, Taurus, and Red Dog in terms of official name-only reveals that are out. And the digital renders look like this now. Yes, I've removed Pythona and the Ghost Viper, and we're just left with the 5-figure wave of Hit and Run, Lifeline, Big Lob, Night Viper, and the Stage 2 Mole Rat. So I'm really excited. Tomorrow's going to be amazing. It's going to be a big day. We'll do the episode. Saturday it'll be day 2 recap, and then day 3 recap will be Saturday. But what we'll also add on the day 3 recap is all of the comics burst news I wanted to do in the week, and there's been tons of it. So Saturday's day 3 recap will sort of be a lot of comics talk as well. Okay, so bear that in mind. And then if there's anything to talk about on Sunday, I will do something on Sunday, but to be fair, it will probably be like pretty much wrapped up by then. And then I want to say, well, I would imagine if they reveal stuff tomorrow, then by Saturday we'll be seeing stuff by Friday night, and then all Saturday we'll be seeing all the new stuff put into the booth. So we'll be getting new images throughout the weekend as well. So I cannot wait to start like posting that as well when it comes through. And yeah, like I said, we'll kind of do it like recap days each day, with Saturday being very heavy on the comics talk. And then yeah, like I said, Sunday will be in the Patreon episode. So any of my patrons, we'll do that. And that is pretty much it. One last thing, I just want to shout out the t-shirts that we've got going on now. So we have collaborated with the awesome Codename Iowa to bring you a bit of Full Force merch. And if you are interested, you can go and check out Codename Iowa. Link in the description. I'll just say link in the description because that's a lot easier. Go check out Codename Iowa's web store and the Full Force section, and you've got the option of the grey, black, and white with the full color logo, or you've got the color tees in green, blue, and red with that sort of like darker version of each color logo on there as well. So you can go check those out and help support the channel like that, and show your love for the Full Force and how cool our logo is, thanks to the wonderful Brian Sauer of Codename Iowa. Right then, that is everything. I'm going to leave you with a message from our sponsor going into the outro. But like I said, I'll see you very soon. I'll see you tomorrow for sure. And it'll be shortly after the fan stream version, not the panel. So the panel will happen, then the live stream sort of recap, and then I'll go live as soon as I can after the fact. Okay? Right then. See you tomorrow. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Message from our sponsor. That's it for this instalment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.